On this episode, cheesecake in a jar meets coffee in a bar. Hey everyone, Gary James here, and welcome to Tampa Tuesday, episode 15. We are on our game. I'm super excited because today I have a very, very special guest, Joseph Jackson of Anns Cheesecakes. If you've been noticing at about 24 locations around Tampa Bay, you can pick up these little cheesecakes in a jar, and they have this little logo sitting on it. Ding, this logo, you'll see this little logo on the jars, and I'm telling you, it's the most delicious cheesecake you've ever had, and it comes in this little jar, so it's no mess. Really, really good stuff. And the guy, and one of the guys that runs the whole business is our guest this week. I'm super excited. I didn't give our location enough love in the actual shoot, so I want to give a shout out to Gingerbeard Coffee for letting us shoot on location. They have such a cool little spot. And they do one really unique thing in the coffee world, where they do Nitro-tapped cold brew, which is essentially, they serve you your coffee out of a tap. And so when it comes, it looks like a beer, but it tastes just like cold brew. And I actually think it tastes a little better, and it drinks a lot smoother. It's pretty much the only coffee that I can do 100% black, and I love it. I just really wanted to give a shout out to these guys. We're going to be announcing they're going to have a 1-year anniversary party coming up very soon, so we're going to announce that event. And but like I said, I just wanted to give those guys love. Derek and Josh, keep doing what you do. If you're interested in Gingerbeard Coffee, they're downtown, close to the Channelside district, and we'll go ahead and pop up their social media right here, and it's done. So. Events this week, what you guys all came here for. Before we actually get to our interview real quick, we got 6 events that we need to bring to your attention. The first is kind of interesting. It's the official Social Media Day Tampa Bay. Every year, yes, you heard correctly, Social Media Day. Every day is technically Social Media Day, right? But there is one dedicated day. They've been doing this for 7 years. It's an event organized by Mashable, and it's actually going to be at Ferg's Live. The reason I picked this event is because the location, Ferg's Live, is actually not going to be around much longer. If you guys know, Jeff Vinnick is developing pretty much 40 acres of downtown Tampa. They're nicknaming the whole thing Vinnickville, which is pretty cool. But the Ferg's Live, as you know it now, is only a temporary location. It won't be there for very long, especially once they start actually building out all the development that they're planning for downtown. So any events that are cool, you want to go to Ferg's Live, because any events that are cool at Ferg's Live, you want to take advantage of, because it's a really neat venue. And it's not going to be around for long, and I think that it's going to be one of those things that when people look back, they're going to say, how cool was that? It's a shame it's not here anymore. So, and that's going to be Friday at 5 p.m., all the way to 9. So not too late, but it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a good mix of, entertaining crowd-wise, but not like crazy party sort of thing. So I think it's going to be a good mix of that. Then... That's all I have for Friday. So Saturday, I've got most of the events that I have are scheduled around Saturday, because we got 4th of July coming up, and we're actually going to be celebrating it. This is technically 4th of July weekend, okay, guys? So the first event is going to be the Fresh Market at Wiregrass. I always talk about that. They do an absolute awesome job on that event every weekend. I think it's the first Saturday of every month. That's going to be at the shops at Wiregrass. Then something cool that I found was they are having a sandbar party out on Anclote Sandbar. It's on the north. It's north of Clearwater Beach. So North Clearwater Beach is the Anclote Key, and on the Anclote Sandbar, they're planning a huge sandbar party, which I'm sure you've seen those, videos where they have hundreds of boats, little small boats surrounding an island, and they just make a huge party out of it. That's what's going to be happening. And so I just think it's cool because most of the time I don't know about these things until after they happen. So this time you actually know ahead of time. So if you know someone with a boat, you can actually get in touch with them. They're probably going out there, and it's always good to know people, right? So the next event, this is strictly a family-oriented event. Connerton, which is a master plan community up in Land O'Lakes, is doing a 4th of July fireworks show. Food trucks and fireworks sort of thing. So that's going to start at 5 p.m. It's going to go all the way to 9:30. Remember, it doesn't get dark till later. So maybe you want to show up between 6 and 7, enjoy the food, the festivities, stay for the fireworks, then get out of there. So that's at Connerton. It's a really cool community too. The whole water park that they essentially have in this neighborhood is awesome. The next event, I already told you the time. So the next one, the next two events are on Sunday. The next two events are on Sunday. The first one's at 10 a.m. It's going to be the Hyde Park Village Fresh Market, 10 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's pretty self-explanatory. I just love the location. I enjoy going to Hyde Park. They have Buddy Brew out there now. There's Goody Goody out there now. Whole bunch of stuff going on out there. I love Hyde Park. I'm a big fan, and they're gonna have like their own fresh market. I think it's always gonna be awesome. And then I want to give a shout out to a brand new business that is doing a grand opening on Sunday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It's Ice Dreamery. So it's located on State Road 54 in Lutz, and actually that's super close to me. And so from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. they're going to be doing their grand opening. I want to give you guys a shout out. Wish you the best of luck. I hope that your business absolutely explodes. You do great in this area. And you know what? Just because you guys support small businesses, I know you do, because every time I talk about small business, you guys give me so much support. You guys gave DJ a lot of love when we had him on the program last week. So go out and support these guys. If it's Sunday, it's a great day to take the kids out and get ice cream at an ice cream place. So go out and support these guys. Ice Dreamery on 54. The links for all of these are above, and you can get the locations from there. And that's all I have to say. Enjoy this interview with Joseph Jackson of Anns Cheesecakes. Take it easy. All set? Yeah. Joseph,
hey.
Nice to see you again, the second time. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we're on episode 15 of Tampa Tuesday. I'm excited because that means I'm consistent at something in my life. And this is Joseph. And if you've ever seen one of these delicious, delectable delights, I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. There, come on, camera, help me out. No. Gonna be difficult today. Okay, that's fine. This is a beautiful cheesecake in a jar. And Joseph, I've heard this story before, but I want you to tell our audience real quick, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, me and my wife, we started the business after hearing a story about someone else who started their family tradition recipe and turned it into a business.
Right.
We started selling cheesecake by the slice, and it kind of melted on us.
Right.
We couldn't get it to stay fresh for us or our customers, so we had to figure out a way to insulate it.
Right.
Glass jar.
Try to talk more that direction.
You're good. Want to restart?
No, it's cool.
With the jar, it gives you about 2 hours to either eat it or take it home, put it back in the fridge, and keep it fresh and cold. So taking it from the slice, which was available to the heat, the humidity, and just becoming a puddle, which was the funniest thing to actually give someone, then walk back 2 minutes later and see, can I get a different slice? Like, all right, we have to figure it out, and that's why the jar was the answer. Glass insulates it perfectly from freezer to your hand.
So you always, so this is essentially the same recipe, right?
Yeah, it's the same recipe that we developed, and then we figured out that we had to bake it into something that insulated it, and there was no packaging out there that would insulate a slice of cheesecake.
Wow. And I'm kind of my grandfather has this family recipe of cheesecake, and I'm sorry, Grandpa, he's dead anyway. I'm sorry, Grandpa, but it's nowhere near as good as this. But I can only imagine if he would have handed me a slice and it started melting and whatever. So who's the brain? Because
my wife and I work together in our business, and I know that we both pull from our strengths in terms of, you know, she's more of an organized person, and I'm kind of like everything's all over my desk, and it's exactly how I want it.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's her family recipe that's been passed down 4 generations through her family, and she got it when she got married to me.
Okay.
So every generation, whoever got married, they got that as a wedding present.
Right.
She handles most of the baking. My family was in the food industry as well. I've worked at Publix before, so for the scale up in the kitchen side, I'm more of that, and she's more of the recipe side. As far as like the business, yeah, I have my desk a mess, and I'm like, hey, I have everything where I need it, but if it needs to be filed, here, file this here for me.
Right, exactly. See, now, my wife, because she's very organized, if I give her a system, I don't have to worry about it. It's a beautiful thing. So I get to just focus on the ideas and all that stuff, which is, to me, it's the fun part.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's the same thing with me. I'm more of the idea person with, oh, we're going to try and do this, or we can try and go there, or let's try a new line of cheesecake, or let's try a new business.
Right. Oh, all day. All day long. I love it. So whose idea was the jar itself?
We really don't know. It was about 4 or 5 of us sitting around at the table, and someone said, throw it in a jar. We all stopped, looked at each other, and kind of thought we may have found the solution to our melting cheesecake.
Right. That's so cool. Okay, so I focus on new construction in my business, and so you guys know I'm a real estate agent. I talk about it every episode just in case you want to buy a home. So shameless plug right in there. But so because I focus on new construction, it's a whole different set of like issues. You know, when you're doing, people don't realize, you know, foreclosures and short sales and general resale, it's a whole different process involved in dealing with a home like that. And it's the same, you respect new homes in the same way. So I was, you know, I tried all sorts of things when I was trying to get business. Like I tried to give away my commission. I tried, no shame whatsoever. Yeah. Like I'm trying something I never did before. And then I ran into this home inspector who actually inspects homes as they're being built. And it's like that sort of value add to somebody who wants to buy a new home. Like it's just a mind-blowing experience because you're getting all these like physical update reports from somebody watching your home as it's being built. Changes the whole experience. So I'm curious, like what kind of doors, when you started putting in a jar, like how did you, because how many ideas have you had that have absolutely tanked?
I mean, the jar itself serves so many other purposes for us. Anything that is in jar airtight gives you a longer shelf life,
right?
Which gives us the ability to go to grocery stores, go to places that want it on their shelves, but can't deal with something that has a 2 or 3 day shelf life.
Right.
So it gives us that ability to do things like that, and it just opens so many doors because it allows us to package something that really wasn't packageable before.
Right.
So you would have a normal like styrofoam or plastic container with your cheesecake in it, and it was just a slice.
That's so cool. I'm thinking the only other place I've seen cheesecake is in the store is the freezer aisle. Mm-hmm. You know, but this is so much better.
I mean, we go back to the original recipes that were done before you had to worry about cost of ingredients, had to worry about cheapening of the cheapest sugar. We use real products. Right. We use real cream cheese, we use real sugar, we use real eggs. So it's all those things, and it's a short, simple ingredient list as well.
That's awesome.
That's one of the main things that makes us different than pretty much any other cheesecake out there that is you find in the freezer. Look at the ingredient list and you'll see half of the stuff that you can't pronounce, even though it's still good for you. You can't pronounce it, and you want to feel better about things you eat.
Yep.
So simple ingredients make things simpler to eat.
100%, I agree. I would say now I got to get creative and think of. Okay, here's a good one. I want to ask you a question because you're like you've taken what you love, something that you enjoy, and you've turned it into a business, and that's really hard to do. I think the hardest part about that is actually sticking to it when things don't work out. Like, because a lot of people, they would have gotten to the melting cheesecake and they would have said, oh well, you know, let's quit. So aside from the jar, what's a big hurdle you guys have had to overcome?
I mean, the number one issue is always funding. There's always cash flow in a new business, especially one that you didn't plan out to start. Mm-hmm. You went in and you had an idea, You had no savings put aside for it. And you said, I'm going to do this. Your wife quits her job 3 days after you decide to do it. 2 weeks later, you have to have fully licensed, and you have to figure out how to sell your product.
Right.
When you're backed against the wall, you don't figure out how to do it. That's the key. Yes, have a backup plan, have plans B, C, D, E, all the way to Z,
right.
But don't have that fallback in the back of your mind.
Right.
Because if you have that fallback, you're always going to take the safer route, and the risks are what's going to grow your business and grow you personally.
100%. Yeah, I think the safety net is the most dangerous thing you can have as a business owner. Like, when for a year after I started in real estate for a year, I moved in. My wife and I, we moved in with my aunt. Mm-hmm. So I was there. And business was just slow because I was waiting on it. I wasn't as hungry as I was when I got out and started paying my rent and realized, okay, I got 30 days to close a house that takes 30 days to close. That means I need to find business yesterday.
Yes.
But not having that safety net, it lights a fire under you. Yeah. But it's cool because then it allows you, on the back end, allows you to really evaluate, am I working as hard as I could?
Yes.
So I see you guys everywhere. I've seen you at the Tampa airport. I see you at, close to me, 7 Layers Bakery, Dégagé, the coffee shop up there. Are you at Buttermilk Provisions?
No, they do everything in-house.
Okay. And the whole vegan thing, too.
But we have great conversations with them,
right.
And they are a great group that once they have a demand that overfills their kitchen,
right?
We're one of the first products they want to bring in if they ever have that need.
Cool.
So, and they're great people. So please.
But that's so cool that like local businesses like that. That's the other thing. So what's the because I'm curious more of I like picking people's brains. Like, so from an operational standpoint, how do you essentially prospect the person? How do you look at a business and say that you guys need to carry our product?
Okay. I mean, first thing, they have to fit in with our roadmap.
Right.
What we have here is what we call the map to the jars.
Cool.
It gives you a little locations where you can actually see and find the cheesecakes around the whole Tampa Bay area.
We'll link this up.
Yeah,
too.
It's on our website. We'll link it all, but they have to fit the vibe of being local.
Okay.
They want to have other local products in their store, be owned locally, or be part of a local distribution network.
Right.
We're going to be talking to places like Winn-Dixie as well.
Right.
We're going to be talking to Publix, but those are places that started here in Florida also, or moved to Florida and has become a southeastern area. Because to me, local is not just only your city and your town, but locally in the universe, we're here on the earth together.
That's true.
So local has many stages, and we all have to work together within the local ecosystem that we have to make everything work.
Agreed. That's awesome. All right, I don't really have any more questions. Why don't you tell the people about the flavors that you brought, because they can't see it on camera yet.
I brought 3 flavors with us. Brought the triple berry, which is our blueberry, blackberry, and strawberry. Our cookies and cream, which is our classic Oreo cheesecake. And one of our local favorites, our Ybor City, which is our guava. It's our take on the guava and cheese pastry.
Oh man, that's so exciting. So I got to put a plug in for my favorite flavor, the Dexter. When are you guys going to have that again?
Yes. That comes back out in December and January.
Okay.
It's our raspberry and white chocolate.
All right.
It is named after everybody's favorite serial killer, Dexter from Showtime.
Oh, yes.
Being the blood splatter expert he is, having the red and white blood cells represented with the white chocolate and the raspberry was a perfect fit for the holidays.
It just makes me happy thinking about it. So you said December?
Yes, December it comes back. Every December and January, the raspberry white chocolate is back.
Right.
Right now we have the s'mores and our watermelon out. That's our summer treats. Of course, we have our pumpkin at the Thanksgiving time, and we're working on a vegan cheesecake, a protein cheesecake that we're debuting at Run St. Pete in November.
Okay.
That's going to be a chocolate banana protein infused cheesecake for your after workout treat.
Nice.
And we're coming up with a few other things too. So just follow us.
These guys are creative. Like, stay in touch. What's the best place for people to follow you on social media?
Social media would probably either be Facebook and/or Instagram.
Okay.
It's both at Cheesecake, the letter N, and then MORE.
Actually, I just realized it's right on here. There we go. We got to focus. All right. Cool. Follow them here. Ding.
Yes.
I put dings in on post edit.
Definitely. Really cool. Thank you. We appreciate the local community. We're always doing charity work back. Our next event is with Park out in St. Pete. It's their annual gala where they raise funds for helping disabilities become capabilities with developmentally challenged adults,
awesome.
placing them in the culinary fields in the area.
Well, that's ambitious, and it fits right in with your business. That's awesome. I'm so glad. Well, like I said, guys, follow Joseph. Like, do yourself a favor. Keep an eye on this guy, because you're gonna want to be able to say, like, oh, I remember when he was on Tampa Tuesday, and it was like nothing compared to what he is now. And you're gonna see him on every shelf. You get to tell one of the most exciting things for me. I moved here from New Jersey, so one of the most exciting things for me was when Wawa came here.
Oh,
because Wawa was my high school life. That was everything. That was everything for me. And then so when I moved down here, and then Wawa followed me, I was like, yes, everyone understands now.
Yes, I gotta say, it was a treat to get Wawa down here as well. As someone born and raised in Tampa, it was a treat seeing something new in the gas station industry. So
exactly. Something
stepping up the food game. We always appreciate that with us. So who knows, maybe you'll see us in Wawa one day.
I would love that. I would cry. A small part of me would live for joy. But awesome, Joseph. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Definitely, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much. And as my good friend Willie Lawson, the only person that cares about this city more than I do, as he always says, get out there, learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.